here. All right. My friends, welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson, and thank you for being here. You are all perfect, exactly where you are in this now moment right now. There is nothing wrong with you, and remember that I love you very much. And we are going to really dive in deep tonight. I've got a lot to cover, so if you're on the Zoom, feel free to just throw it in the chat, and I will either get to it at the end, or if it catches me as we're going, I will fill you in as we go. Okay? Topic tonight, the red pill is no longer an option, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Many of you have been watching this, your problematic patterns resurfacing and recycling, and then it's only to irritate you all on your own, like you're irritating yourselves, right? Like it's like that's how I've been. I'm just irritating me. And frustration is surfacing, and confusion and disappointment and overwhelm. And it's like, why is this all repeating? I know. So I tried to clean it up as best I could, but allow you to take back your power, because it's not going to hurt. It's not hurting you. It's actually making you more badass. And that's why we're here. That is the whole point of the Truth Tribe. You all need to start dragging everyone you know into these calls. Send them over to someone. Go onto the podcast. If they don't like watching on YouTube or watching on the Zoom, send them to the podcast. Let them listen to it. But whatever it is, you need to start dragging, because what I want you to understand is the spiritual cat is out of the bag. It's out. You can't hide from it. The red pill is no longer an option. You have to take it. If you haven't seen The Matrix, this would be a very good time to watch it. Why? Because you have a choice. You have a choice right now to take the red pill and choose your dream reality, or take the blue pill and be told what your reality will be, which will not be to your liking. Period. You've heard it, you've seen it, they've talked about it, but I'm telling you, the universe is telling you this right now. So you can be miserable, or like in dreamland, like in the dream state of your reality. So it's time to swallow the red pill. How do you do that, right? How do we do this? You swallow your pride, right? You swallow your guilt. You swallow your resentment, your insecurities, your ego, your bullshit story. Or maybe you just spit it out, even better. Just spit it out and be done, right? Because when you step into your bullshit, right? Truly step into it. Dreams that have been shoved deep down inside of you, they're dying to get out, but you're not stepping into it and seeing it. This is what's been happening to the spiritual awakening planet for lifetimes. And we've talked about this on this Truth Tribe call many times. So you guys aren't like, oh, this is a surprise, Dawn, right? It's just, it wasn't a collective discussion in the past. Okay. And now it's a collective discussion. Now it is, wake the fuck up. The cat is out of the bag. Take the red pill. Understand all things in the future are nothing you've ever learned, but will benefit you in quantum leaps if you're open-minded. If you, and only you, if you are willing to let go of the rules and the control and the sickness and the suffering you were told was the only way. Sadly, this is something many people, you guys, are still holding on to, but they were told that's it, that's the only option. Bullshit. You have to start seeing the bullshit story. So here's the funny part. So, you know what? I like to get people in this is why I think it's funny, because it's for me too, right? You know what, you know where, you know why you're stuck. It's time to get real with your shit, with your bullshit, with your bullshit story. You know exactly what category, what challenges, and what consequences that you're avoiding. But until you get real with your own self, your body will express what your mind is suppressing, pushing down. Okay. So if you want to act like the story that you're telling yourself is okay, right? It will continue to feel like a conflict for you. When you try to move ahead or expand, somebody was asking, repeat that. Your body will express, right? what your mind is repressing and pushing down and doesn't want to see and doesn't want to heal. The bullshit your mind doesn't want to deal with. Your body will express what your mind is repressing. Okay. And so the funny part, like I said, is you're going to feel in conflict with yourself if you keep telling yourself the bullshit story that isn't real. You're going to feel like you're in this your own self-imposed prison in a sense. Okay. But you know exactly what consequences you're avoiding. You all know. So I want to talk about it. Let's talk about in relationships. Let's talk about it in your health, in your career, maybe in your children, in your bedroom, right? Ooh, that's a big one. In your finances. All of you guys on this call right now, okay, write down, if you're listening, okay, I want you to write down the most challenging topic in your life, just the category of your life. Like, because not everybody struggles with the same thing. That's why I find it fascinating. Everybody's like, it's the same. It is the exact same energy for everybody, but it shows up in a different category of your life. So I want you to just write down one word of those things I listed, or it could be a totally different one, right? And I say this because in your relationships, remember, you're in a relationship with everything and anything that you're in. In your relationships, and whichever one we're talking about, nothing will change until you change, no matter what they are willing to or not willing to do. So no matter what anything in the external world is, until you change, they will not change. So in your health, right? Doing the work. What does that mean? It means you're going to have to accept the consequences of the choices that you've made, and making new choices are also going to include consequences that you're not going to like. My broken arm is a perfect example. The consequences of going to a hospital for me, which I did not. Everybody, this has been a big deal. So many people have asked me, did you get an x-ray? Right? Did you go to the hospital? Did you get an x-ray? The answer is no. So I can show you all, you don't always need that. We don't always need to go to the programming, but let's get back. I divert. So this arm is the example. The consequences of going to the hospital and getting a cast meant I cannot put any natural treatments onto my arm for at least 8 weeks. The consequences of choosing to go all my healers, treating me energetically, vibrationally, emotionally, technically, means I can speed up the healing process almost to half, 3/4. Okay. But a consequences of going on that slower, like taking that route and going on that intense route of healing, right? I have to protect my arm at all costs, right? Do you all see the pattern being presented to me at this time? Slow down, right? Slowing down is not typically my speed of life. And those of you on this call that know me, I'm not a slow person, right? So this is not just a broken arm, my friends. This is a huge awakening. Okay? This is a huge awakening for me. Okay? This isn't just breaking it. What do you think it's awakening? This is breaking all of my bullshit patterns. Right? I am balancing my yin and yang, my masculine side, my giving side, and my receiving side, my feminine. Oh, look, I blocked out my masculine. So the key word I need to choose is consequences that I'm willing to accept, not the bullshit societal acceptance. Okay. The only consequences of holistic healing are slowing down, taking things more methodical process. Those are my consequences. Slow down and fucking take care of myself. Now, I can act like it never happened. I can go there, put a Band-Aid cast on it. This is a huge splint, by the way, so I can't move. Okay. Both ways heal it with consequences. But guess what? This one is the giving and this one is the receiving. Look what the universe shut down on me, my giving side. And they left open my receiving side. Don't you find that fascinating? I'll touch on it more. I want you guys to start understanding you don't need to break your arm. I'm just giving you examples of the universe showing up for you. Here's another touchy topic I want to talk on. I'm done covering up all this stuff. Like, people need to hear this stuff. Another touchy topic that I want to discuss tonight The bedroom. Okay. I can call you all out on this one because most, if not none of you, have been taught intimacy in your lifetime, especially as teens or young adults, or you haven't researched it unless you're a researcher of that kind of stuff. Okay. You all learned it when you were a teen or in some magazine or some stupid online bullshit that was not even real. They're just made up for Hollywood. Okay. That's not intimacy, my friends. That's entertainment or procreation. Own the fact that you may not know what emotional intimacy, the spiritual cat, is coming out of the bag and it's saying you got to know who you are spiritually, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. Intimacy is an emotion, a feeling, a connection. And that's a big deal as you're an adult. If you can't connect to people, it's going to be bullshit. All right. So you got to own the fact that you may not know what emotional intimacy is. You likely researched, you can research what it is. Oh, I wrote a book called Balls, and there's a chapter in there on emotional intimacy. In case you need a little cliff notes, I was giving it away for free. Those of you find me, if you want to download, you have to come to my class. You have to come to the retreat, which you find me, or just ask me and I'll send it to you again. Okay. Or you can go onto Amazon and order a hard copy. One mini Cliff Note version if you can't research the supercomputer in your hand. But the consequences of not researching intimacy over what you learned as a teen, which was bullshit, okay, are unhealthy relationships. But seeing it is good, right? When you can honestly say, you know what, I don't know what to do. I own it. I own this bullshit story. What about kids? Let's talk about that. When it comes to your kids, the consequences of changing the game with your kids is going to be different. And they're guaranteed, they're going to retaliate. Or your kids may have changed and you're the one pushing your heels in, right? And you're stuck on your old story. And if you don't want that, but you know there's a better way, slowly, my friends, they will get on your train. The consequences that you have to deal with are temporary tantrums. Okay. What about money? The things that you're buying that you don't need. And you also, the things that you're saving for out of fear of missing out for something when we spend money on things you don't need, that maybe it could be redirected into things you do need, but we don't focus on it. But then I watch people and you will spend money on a tropical vacation with meals and drinks and travel, and you will not spend $5,000 on your healing. And this is a big deal. I'm sharing with all of you in my coaching, because if you don't want to pay $5,000, I'm not your coach, because you don't want to heal spirit, mind, and body, or every other category in your life, shall I say. So if you don't invest in yourself and choose only to go on a tropical vacation and maybe drink yourself numb, right? That is the blue pill option. Discontent, just so you know, as a consequences that will still be waiting for you when you return home. Those are the consequences of avoiding filling your well, investing in you the same way you do in other things you're unconscious to. Do I discourage and tell you to avoid the use of alcohol or any of these experiences around fun? Hell no. Of course I want you to have fun. I'm suggesting that you see your story and consider where you're overextending yourself in areas that aren't serving you. Can you see the things happening to you that are trying to get you to look at you? Guys, if you remember several Truth Tribes ago, we discussed choice or consequences. Which one has more value? Which one's more valuable to you? The consequences, hands down, right? Because you have to weigh out the consequences that you can live with, the ones that will change your life, as opposed to immediate instant gratification choices that will have dire consequences if the pattern repeats, these repeating patterns. Okay. So this is the frequency happening that you're all feeling right now. We are in this right now, my friends, and I will get to planetary update in a little bit. Because it's not going away for years. It's just going to get in different categories. Okay. So you have two options right now that's kind of pushing you into this holy cow. Delusional or clarity. Delusional blue pill or clarity red pill. Okay. So the avoidance of who you are and what you want is staring you guys in the face, waiting for you to decide. Will you sit in your old BS story of delusion, or will you choose a choice that you know is a better life for you, everyone involved, but it may have consequences in this moment that are uncomfortable and out of your nervous system pattern. And I'm going to say that again, out of your nervous system pattern. So they're not going to be comfortable. This is a really big deal and you're not getting out of it. So my point tonight is to ask yourselves, do I want something that I've been told has never been done, but there's so much information available to me to finally have it? Do I want community? Right? Do I want security? Do I want intimacy? Do I want connection, healthy partners, healthy body, confidence? Take a wild guess which one of these is the most valuable. Confidence. Right? And that happens after you do the work to see your BS story that you keep selling to others as to why you can't have what you want, even if it's baby steps of practicing your new high frequency life. Right? It is the entire reason that I designed the DMT method that I'm teaching in the Truth Warrior Retreat next week, next Friday, not this Friday coming up, next Friday. And if you're not in it, find me on all of my social media. I put out a lucky entry. I'm sorry, next Saturday. Sorry, next Saturday. Thank you. I'm off my dates. The method that I'm teaching has never been done. Yet because I did it and I practiced it on several of my clients. I know they didn't know they were guinea pigs, but it works amazing. And I have nothing to question other than how much bigger we can all go, how much more amazing we can become, how much more confident you can grow into that can create your self healing from a healing tool that you can take care of you for a change. I am not your healer, my friends. I'm just the designer of a tool that you must embrace. This tool that ignites your spiritual molecule called DMT. We all have a spiritual molecule inside of us called DMT. That's what helps you tap in when you do psychedelics. You're tapping into the DMT molecule within your body. And that takes you into the alternate realities. My initials, by the way, are DMT. I am here to awaken your spiritual badasses. And you have all been taking the blue pill for so fucking long, I can't even take it anymore. And then I watch people in one ear, yes, 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 I got this. And then out the other ear, back into their nervous system and being an asshole, criticizing, judging, or being a victim of suffering. So let's talk about the current relationship realities on the planet. So for the entire month of February, I opened up my relationship toolbox on my website, ideserveitnow.com. You just go to courses, you'll see relationships, the course is open. And I will continue to keep it open for March because it's also now the month of the lucky leprechaun. And hopefully, all of you will start using it so you can get lucky physically, mentally, and emotionally. That's my goal. I'm a helper and I'm a lover, and that's how I am. It is so basic and so simple that you're all looking for all these advanced reasons why you're wounded instead of seeing the consequences of not deep diving and knowing yourself. So I can give you stuff for free. I can give you my $1,000 retreat that I have some scholarships that I'm letting people into, but there's only 72 hours to get it. So if you want it, you need to talk to me. Okay. And then you can dive into my $5,000 coaching. So my point is it doesn't matter if I give it free, you're still not using it. None of you on this call or any other calls that have been on my calls have chosen to incarnate on this planet to be mediocre and to be vague. Please hear me. None of you have chosen to birth yourself and incarnate during this time and this space to be mediocre and vague. And I am just the director directing all of you onto the highway of clarity. That's it. You already have the map, my friends. You just need someone to help you interpret your map at the highest frequency possible. But mark my words, if you can't see every experience in your life as something pushing you to that next higher level of yourself, you will continue to swallow the blue pill of suffering. Because I'm an Aquarius. My friends, I am the sign of the humanitarian. I have given my entire life of giving, right? And guess what? God shut down on me this right hand, the giving hand, the overdoing hand, the overworking hand. Do you know how difficult the last week has been for me to let people cut my apple? And to not be able to use scissors and to have my girlfriend type on my computer for me until I got a left-handed mouse. My IT guy fixed my mouse so it was left-handed. So all these things you don't realize all of a sudden until you have no choice, because you've written it down, you've worked on yourself to bring in the feminine, the receiving aspect of yourself, and you realize it's okay to receive with no strings attached. To see your husband spoiling you on small things that you never considered were even things you would need. And for me, it's very odd, but it's a blessed consequence in growth from a broken arm that many would consider a bad traumatic thing, that all they want to do is talk about the trauma and the ER and the x-ray and that's bullshit to me. I didn't need any of that. Now, please, everybody's asking me, well, what if it had to be reset? Clearly, if it would have been a compound fracture, or if it would have been, the skin punctured, or any type of I don't even want to say the words, broken to the point where it was disfigured. Okay. So I clearly would have went and had some attention. Okay. But up to that point, I had not slept more than 4 hours a night for probably 2 months. Up to that point, I had written a book. I had created this entire retreat system that I'm doing across the country. I had created an entire new reality. I created this new DMT method. I have been doing so much work, and my body said, oh, bullshit, we're not doing this anymore. And I'm telling you, you can either do it willingly or you can get forced into it. Now, I did the work saying I want to balance myself. And so my body said, oh, the body will express what the mind represses. I cannot say it enough. So what will appear to grow your confidence can be something extravagant as shutting down your giving hand, or it can be super small, my friends, and you got to watch for it, like a misunderstanding maybe, or an argument with another person pushing you to use your voice because maybe you're not a great communicator of your truth, or your financial mistake that you made, or a mishap that forces you to reevaluate your worth, or your child gives you an incredibly mind-blowing aha moment about how they see you in their eyes so you can change you. Take the red pill and choose your new life. I hope you're hearing me, because get ready. Let's talk about the planetary update. It's a long one. I held off because I knew last night was this super new moon. It was a super new moon, so you're all feeling it today. Everyone's feeling it. It's a super moon in Pisces. And Pisces is a wishy-washy sign. It's a sign of the fish. It's flip-flop. It's indecisive. It's confusing. It's also creative. It's also mental, mind, intuition, spiritual. Okay. And with all new moons, it's all about beginnings and fresh starts and fresh beginnings. Okay. That would seem to be super beneficial and exciting, right? Creative, intuition, all that going off the charts. But here's why people are feeling off. It's sitting in between these two planets up here. Okay. So it's sitting here in the middle. Here's Saturn, here's Neptune, and here's the moon. See, on left-handed. See how I'm getting pretty good at this since we can't use the other one. So you've got these three sitting here, and here's the moon sitting in the middle. Okay. So the moon is sitting in between Saturn and Neptune, also in Pisces. Saturn rules rules, right? Restrictions, control, structure, but it's also about structure and foundation. Neptune is the spiritual, intuition, creativity, as well as delusion, self-undoing, and imprisonment. Okay. So because this moon is right between Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, it's giving a huge influence, so that it's so potent, you're feeling it, pressure. And it's because it's a water sign. Water rules emotions. And so everybody's feeling this stuff right now. So if you're looking to start, new moons are something new, right? Something new. I want tonight, you guys, for the next 3 days, plant a seed for a long-term project because Saturn rules planning. It rules long-term, okay? And so plant a seed for a long-term project, something you really care about, because this is it. This is that moment. This energy speaks to you to pour out your mission and pour out that purpose and pour your dreams out and your dharma, as we would call it, not your karma. Karma is your lessons. Your dharma is your purpose, like what you came here to express from your happy soul when you're just expressing it naturally. Okay? So the way you hold and become one of these lighthouses that you've all become, right? This is when you become in this bright mission and you've planted it, that's the way you hold it inside. That's when that lighthouse lights up and this flood nourishes, and this flood of energy, it's nourishing and supporting and birthing like all this great work. And it's only going to come from, get ready, when you turn within. The lighthouse is shining from within. Okay? Pisces rules your internal mind, your beliefs, your thoughts. So this time right now for the next 3 days, and in moons last their energy for 6 months. So I want you to, for the next 3 days, really be intentional. You need to deeply unplug from all energetic sources, all habits, all noises in your life that lead you away from your knowingness, okay? Because if you tune into the wrong sources outside of you, the blue pill things, and let them tell you what to do, you're going to be you seek any of these external authorities outside of yourself telling you what to do with your confusion. When you're already confused, you're going to get frustrated. Like, what do I do? It's a very dangerous energy, my friends, to be tuning into during all this Pisces wishy-washy confusion, delusion pattern of energy flowing over us. Okay. Now, if you're looking outside of yourself, that's where it is. If you're looking for those answers, you need to do a hard stop at this moment right now. Okay. What do I do? If this, like, I want you to ask yourself, what do I do in this deeply powerful question, right? What do I do with myself? Is you're looking deep within. Your prayers, your mantras, like ask inside of yourself, your meditations. If you're looking for signs, synchronicities from your guides and your angels and from source and God, this is an opportunity for foundational leveling, alignment, and growth. Okay, you can go back to your Netflix binge dooming, scrolling, online criticizing, self-critiquing later. Okay, right now, this week is literally so crucial that you unplug if you haven't already. Like, clearly, I'm being forced. So I haven't really been opposed to it because I was like, oh, okay, fine, I'll do it. Right. But the theme is to tap into your intuition, your creativity, and make a plan for all habits and thoughts that are no longer serving you, and simply observe them with the red pill. What are the consequences of staying the same? Okay. The next planetary influence you're feeling right now is Jupiter. Okay, here it is. Jupiter and Uranus are conjunct. So conjunct means they're sitting on top of each other. Okay. Jupiter is the planet of good luck and expansion and higher learning and foreign travel, long distance expansion. Uranus is the planet of freedom and truth and collective technology, future. So Uranus is very triggering. It's a sunburst in, sunburst out, like a spark of energy. And Jupiter expands that spark of energy. So the complete conjunction is starting to, it's not quite there yet. It's like going like this, and it's very slow. Okay, so it's very slow coming together. But the complete conjunction, it's going to be at 21 degrees, is on April 20th. So in about 4 weeks, so you're already feeling this build up. And on April 20th is the actual conjunction. We're sitting on top of each other. That's what I'm saying. They're so slow, you feel it already. So it's setting us up for anything Taurus, which was money, right? Remember, this is 21 degrees of Taurus. So if you know your own astrology chart, this is what category you're going to be impacted in. Just go look for Taurus on your chart and you'll know where you're going to be affected by this conjunction, by expansion and future and technology and freedom. Okay. So many could interpret this as really overwhelming, but it's super exciting, you guys. I'm telling you, it's super, super positive. It's launching us into new horizons, and it's igniting the rule breakers and the visionaries and the trailblazers that you're going to see expanding out into the world. This is me, my friends. I'm Uranus. I'm Aquarius. It's Aquarius energy. So if you're coming with me, you need to open your mind and be prepared for everything that doesn't make sense. But in your heart and your soul, in your dreams and your wishes, you're like, but that's what I wish for. That's where we're going. It's time to make it a reality with this catapulting energy. Both planets are about freedom and revolution, and not just collectively. Okay. It's freedom and revolution in your personal life where you feel shackled or imprisoned. It's time to take that red pill and wake the fuck up. I'm serious, you guys. There is no going back, and you can do it willingly, or you can do it kicking and screaming. And if that wasn't enough, on March 20th, we have the Aries spring equinox. The sun will be moving out of Pisces and moving into Aries at 0 degrees. Okay. Aries rules war and aggression and assertion and drive. It's your driving energy. So you're going to feel this turbulent breakdown at a whole nother level of forward motion. Okay. So it's going to be fast and accelerated, and you're going to be in for this ride. And so as I prepare you into this solstice equinox, remember the other option that I keep reminding you guys is that Pluto went into Aquarius. Remember, it's not been there for 240 years. It takes over almost sometimes more than 20 years to get through a zodiac constellation. Okay. So now you add where Pluto affects you in the sign of Aquarius. This is not going away. This is also about freedom and equality, innovation, new discoveries, the cosmos, anti-elitism, new political structures. It's all been brewing slowly at this time, and it's a very long transit that will not stop. And so the equinox, when it pings, it's like a tuning fork on the planet. Okay. So it's time to adjust your internal energy, because for the next month or so, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus have a lot of concentrated stellium-like energy. Stellium means they're all kind of jammed up together. And we have a lot of stellium-like energy into 4 houses, wherever those 4 houses are for you: Pisces, Aries, Taurus, and Aquarius. Now, wherever that is for you, it's going to be different for each person, but tapping on topics of self-sacrificing, self-worth, money, value, worthiness. So let me simplify all that down for you. Okay. In simple terms, you are being directed to go inside, and I'm telling you, do it easy or do it hard. Go inside, stare down your demons, and come out as a lighthouse with your brightest dream shining. There is no going back, my friends. Embracing anything pushing you inside to see how beautiful you are. And say no to any darkness. That's all you have to do. You're just being guided and helped by the energetic patterns of the universe to stare down your demons and say, kiss my ass. I'm going to my dreams. And Dawn said, I don't have to do it the way everyone else does it. Everybody right here. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. All right. I'm going to open up the Q&A for you guys. I want you to share where you are in need of red pill reality check, where you're like, I know my BS story and I keep selling it to myself. I sell it to everybody else. I say it's because this keeps happening. But the truth is I'm avoiding this because the consequences would mean that even though they benefit me, it means I have to do it different. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. Let me see. Okay. And by the way, if you want to drop them in the Q&A as well as the chat, I'm open to answering either one. Okay, so someone just said here, let's see what this says. When you say red pill, what do you mean for us specifically and personally? Okay. So I mean the whole planet's going to get red pilled, but in red pilled, what I mean is you have to start picking your own life. That's what the red pill means. Okay. The blue pill means you're just going to go on in this numbed out Groundhog Day monotony. Okay. So what this person's asking is what, and my answer is basically, what does taking the red pill do for us? Right. If you want the simple answer, it gives you ownership. It helps you see your own bullshit story that you keep telling everybody why you can't have what you want because you're tiptoeing around everyone else's bullshit. It helps you stop playing the victim. It helps you wake up and realize you've been programmed and taught and numbed and dumbed down for so long. You have no freaking idea you're not even living. So until you actually acknowledge it, this is simply symbolically a red pill saying you can take this one and wake the fuck up and live the life of your dreams and your personal astrology chart and your personality and your dharma and cut the epigenetic trauma wounds, or you can keep taking the blue pill and be numb and ignorant to your own reality and stop watching any digital devices that are telling you what another part of the world is doing. Stop. Just stop watching it. It has nothing to do with you. You must go inside. You must see who you are. You must, and what came for you, what you came here to cut. This is how you change not only humanity, but your own reality. Period. It jumps you to an entirely new timeline of living your life, period. Done. Stop. Okay? I'm avoiding being firm regarding marital growth. Yes, that's a great one. A lot of people are. Not avoiding, more like wishy-washy, but I see the consequences. So a lot of you, I want you to understand the consequences that you're avoiding are actually going to benefit you, but the challenge is we avoid the consequences of having to hold firm and want what we want because we don't like other people's tantrums. And I mean adults to children. It could be anybody, right? It doesn't matter who they are. I'm just saying we don't like the tantrums because we don't feel like we're worth it for them to step up, whoever it is, if that makes sense. And so in marriage, I know that's hard because people are like, well, if I'm not married, I'm in a relationship. You are. You're in a relationship with your friends, your coworkers, your boss, your money, your health, your wealth, your career, everything. And so if we're not paying attention to that, it's a big deal. And so if you can't look at the consequences of having a temporary, choice of taking the red pill and saying, what do I really want? And if I choose this, I have to hold firm to that. And I still love everyone around me. I just can't move. I can't stop being my lighthouse. I can't stop shining from within. I'm going to tell you guys, I started asking you guys to be lighthouses. God, was this 4 years ago or 3.5 years ago? It was about 5 years ago when we were talking more on this Truth Tribe stuff, but then the whole COVID shutdown, all that stupid bullshit happened. And I literally had to get you guys to wake up and go, look, it's not symbolic. It's literally putting energy inside of you. I love it. I'm holding firm and I'm also dealing with tantrums. And so that's hard for people. It's hard for people because no one wants to have to hold firm to what they want. And then everybody's telling them, no, I don't like it that way. I don't want to give you what you want. That's not true. They just don't want to change if they make a new choice, you got to remember their nervous system has to have the consequences of changing too. It's uncomfortable for them. They will. They all will. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Facebookers, if anybody's there, let me go ahead and throw me a hi or a wave or a heart. That would be awesome. If you're still there. Any more questions? I did a good job. You all know you have to wake up to your BS story. You all know what it is. You know who it's with. You know what category of life you're playing small in. Again, let me be very clear about One Day Live. I have two left. I have 2 scholarship, basically, lucky winner offers. So if you want it, you need to find me privately to come to the 1-day event or 1-day retreat, the DMT method I'm teaching at the Truth Warrior Retreat next Saturday, March 23rd. And if you're in Arizona, you need to make this happen. Okay, find me and I will get you through it. Or just go onto my website, ideserveitnow.com, and we'll talk there. Number 2, all of you on here, I want you, you all know me on Facebook or in other areas, please go just find the Facebook group. I'm going to keep posting stuff that I talk about in there, quotes that we're talking about, things we're discussing. I'm going to keep dropping them there. That's where everything's going to get funneled. So if you want people to join in there, I'll put the links in there so people always just go to join the group and then they can sign in there and find the Zoom. It just makes it a little bit easier to find all the stuff everybody keeps looking for in Truth Tribe. And we're going to start upgrading from there. Okay. And then last but not least, if you are listening to this after the live session in YouTube or Spotify, all the links will be below as usual, as you always know. And sometimes you guys don't have a lot of questions, which is super okay. I'm just preparing you for the shift. I'm preparing you why you feel emotional, why you feel overwhelmed, why old stuff, it's not coming up to stay. It's just coming up for you to stare it down and say, no, I'm going to do shit that doesn't make sense. I'm going to do everything that goes against mainstream to fix me. And you have to fight it. You have to fight it. Okay? And you're here. And I'm telling you, the planets are going to keep doing this. We're going to talk about next week. There's a Libra, I want to say it's a lunar eclipse on the 24th, but don't mark my dates until I let you know next week. So it's another, all these eclipse season and all this stuff's happening. It's insanity going on out there. So you're not wrong. Your bodies are upgrading to brighter lighthouse status. Okay. Do not negotiate who you are, what you want with anybody. And I want you to know, I love you very much. I will see you all soon. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I love you. Brightest blessings. And we'll see you next week. You guys have a great night. Take care.